Real estate prices in Canada have gone from absurd to astronomical in many areas, leading many individuals to truly gather that it is unaffordable. No country has put so much focus and attention on individual wealth being solely devoted to the price of their primary residence as Canada. In Vancouver, their new 15% tax on foreign buyers engaged in immediate effect, with new home sales dropping over 30%. More steps have been taken in order to stabilize the real estate in Canada and to deflate the bubble. You came here for the truth, so let me unveil that for you. We will get in to everything you need to know about Canada's new real estate rules. I'll discuss them as quickly and concisely as I can. Beginning with this, very important, effective Monday, more mortgage applications will undergo a stress test to evaluate a borrower's ability to make payments at a higher interest rate. Are they worried about interest rates rising? Is that what we're getting to? The requirement was already in place for some types of mortgages. It will now apply to all insured mortgages in which buyers have down payments that are less than 20% of the purchase price. Individuals are able to buy property, very expensive property, without having much money at all. Yes, the prices of the real estate are high, but the actual amount of money that many people have been putting in has been relatively small. And they do this by being able to purchase insurance. That basically says, look, you are a risk because you don't have enough money, so pay us some insurance money and we'll allow you to do that. That's a loophole to get around not having enough of a down payment. They said they made things more strict since the subprime crisis from the US and said, no, we are not going to suffer the same way that they have. We are going to implement some laws. We're going to tighten restrictions. Nothing's been restricted. There has been no tightening. Now we're seeing just some little tidbits of this going on, but I don't believe that this is enough in order to really stifle the flames. And then we look at this next one. Starting now, an individual who was not a resident in Canada in the year the individual acquired a residence will not be able to claim the exemption for that year. So you have a lot of foreign buyers coming into the market and pushing the asset prices up. And that's the government's direct response related to this. So they are trying to so-called plug a loophole here, and whether or not that will actually work, we'll have to see. Many people don't claim that it's an investment property. They claim it's their primary residence, and they're trying to basically stifle that and try to prevent this from expanding even further. We'll have to see how that works out. This right here is out of the Globe and Mail, and it gets into the 4 changes that are taking place. And I will scroll through this here and just quickly try to deliver this to you. Expanding a mortgage rate stress test to all insured mortgages. What they're trying to do here is essentially say that if mortgage prices increase slightly, they haven't done much, but they're saying if they increase slightly to what the banks actually post, because you can always negotiate a better deal and the bank will just pretty much give you that right away. But essentially what's happened is, look, if the prices go up a little bit, are you going to be able to afford it? That's what this one means. Let's move on. Then, as of November 30th, the government will impose new restrictions on when it will provide insurance for low ratio mortgages. Just to quickly go over this. The new rules restrict insurance for those type of mortgages based on new criteria, including that amortization periods must be 25 years or less. The purchase price is less than $1 million. The buyer has a credit score of 600 and the property will be owner occupied. So they're making these, very, very small moves on the market and trying to just test the waters. I don't think this is really going to do much at this time. But they're basically trying to save face, and just say that we are doing something. We're trying. New reporting rules for the primary residence capital gains exception. And of course, this is exactly what I just got into a moment ago. And the government is launching consultations on lender risk sharing, saying basically, look, if the individual goes into default, bankrupt, the government is going to have to pay up 100% on that. Now they're saying that this shouldn't be the case and that the lenders should bear some of that risk. I don't think this is going to go over very well, but we'll see how this has to really play out. These are the 4 changes. This is what's going on right now. I do believe that they are small in comparison to what needs to be done, but this is the way it is. So I hope that this was very informative for you. Now, for those who aren't from Toronto, for those who aren't from Canada, and you want to know how expensive are real estate prices. I know many of you are probably interested in that. What's expensive? Because everyone has a sort of a different idea. Well, housing prices in the Toronto area continue to soar, with an average price in September rising 20% to $755,000. Number of sales jumping 21.5%. The market is booming. It's red hot. But what has catapulted it into this territory? We'll discuss that in a moment. Look at this. The average sale price for detached houses in the Toronto proper rose to $1.29 million, $1.3 million for the average sale price. And the surrounding area, not even in the Toronto core, but the surrounding area, to $928,000. Nearly $1 million for surrounding area of the core of Toronto. Now think about that for a second. This is, in fact, completely unaffordable. Yes, you can go and drive out a few hours from the core and be able to get an affordable home. But many individuals do not want to move several hours out into that territory. They want to be able to be close to their work, to be close to their families, and have homes that are reasonably affordable. That isn't the case. Toronto's homes have gone to the point of unaffordability, and the government is trying to respond and is doing so in such baby steps that the prices are just going to continue to rise. They may slow down slightly, but this isn't enough to actually slow the prices down. They've done so in BC with their law there, have been able to start to stifle those. However, it isn't the case for Toronto with these laws, or I should say Canada in general. With these, the Toronto prices are just too high and increasing at such a rapid clip that these laws they're trying to impose, regulations, changes, are simply not enough. So the bubble will continue to grow and grow and grow. And last but not least here, I mentioned it in my book. I have this Money GPS hot point where I've only done these a few times throughout the book, things that are very, very important. Mortgages with variable rates of interest will present a big problem in the near future. A significant percentage of people have been buying their homes with a variable mortgage. The trouble is that once interest rates rise from historically low levels, people will not be able to make their monthly payments. Right now, everything is the way it is because interest rates are so low. And their new law that they're trying to implement is so minuscule. I'm not talking about an increase of 1%, although that may have an effect. I'm talking about a few percent increase. And that would be a disastrous effect to the public's idea that real estate prices always rise. Talk to most Canadians, 95% of Canadians, and they will tell you that real estate prices do not go down. It is not possible that they will go down. Ask anyone, and they will tell you real estate prices do not go down. And this right here is propaganda. This right here is brainwashing, and it has been going on for years and years, and it is actually getting worse as of late. If you found this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. Last but not least, if you found the video informative, I know you'll find my book, The Money GPS, even more informative. Head over to Amazon where they have this look inside feature that's going to allow you to actually flip through the pages of the book to see if you like it. Take care.